It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
Toko Sangre Grande, let's hear it again for Mr. Darren Timothy. Our next speaker is a very good friend of mine, a son of the soil, a past student of Northeastern College, and someone who has offered dynamic representation since 2019. You all could count on Calvin Citroen that even though his PD is inundated, if it takes Calvin to walk through that PD bare feet to meet his people, you could be assured. And these are the kind of persons we have representing us here tonight. Let's welcome Calvin Citroen, our candidate for Sangre Grande South.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC.
Sangre Grande, good night. Sangre Grande, good night in the school. Sangre Grande Northwest, good night. My friends, I am getting straight into the business. My friends, Sangre Grande, let me start by first identifying that Sangre Grande, in terms of prevalence of poverty, statistics have proven that Sangre Grande has the most poor person per 100 persons in the national population, yet we are the largest in land space when it comes to we speaking geographically. My friends, I say this, being the poorest region in the country, and yet this PNM government today is telling us and imposing on us that we have to pay property tax. Something without negotiating or consulting with the people of Sangre Grande, and they're imposing the unwanted property tax on us, my friends. PNM are saying, don't mind we are the poorest region, but vote for them. Vote for the PNM so they will have to pay, so you will have to pay property tax. Is that fair? Is that being fair to you, the citizen of Sangre Grande? My friends, we are still recovering from a pandemic. We were faced with problems and issues from the pandemic. We're speaking about bills to pay, utility bills, medication, groceries, my friend, and yet you are telling us pay property tax. My friends, this government is telling us to pay property tax with monies that we do not have, and then they are telling us that this money is going to sustain the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. So my question to you tonight, if we do not have the money to pay the property tax, where will Sangre Grande go when we're speaking generally about the whole corporation? Are we going to be left behind? Is this something that the people of Sangre Grande deserve? My friends, we deserve more. We deserve better. We deserve a UNC-run government, a UNC-led corporation in Sangre Grande, because we, the UNC, is the only party that cares for you, that cares for poor people when it comes to representation of people, my friends. My friends, I listen on one of the programs, one of the dramatic platforms where the PNM does have, and I heard the Prime Minister saying, telling the youths of today to come, be responsible and come forward and vote for the PNM. But I want the Prime Minister to know tonight that these same young adults you are speaking about is the same young adults in 2015 that you took away the laptops from, and now you are telling them to take responsibility and come and vote for the PNM. Young voters, first-time voters, I call on you and I tell you, it is the PNM who took away the laptops from you. It is the PNM that gave your parents the hardship of giving you an education when it comes to technology. So when you go to the polls on August the 14th, vote solidly for a government and for councillors who really cares about you and cares about the education system in this country, my friends. My friends, it has so many things that I want to touch on here tonight. But you know, Time is limited. Time is limited, and I'll be a very obedient candidate here tonight. But before I leave this platform tonight, my friends, I want everyone to follow me on my Facebook page, Calvin Citron, Councillor for Sangre Grande, and will be the next Councillor for Sangre Grande come August the 14th. And I want to identify some of the projects that is coming before the end of this fiscal year. In San Luis, we have 4 phases of box drain to be awarded and to start before the fiscal year of 2022-2023 completes. And 2 phases of paving. Jutram Street, a street that have been having potholes upon potholes. I reached out to the Minister Rohan Sinanan, asking for assistance to patch these holes. You know, a few days ago, they came and patched some of the potholes. My friends, people of Sangre Grande, I call on you, let not allow this PNM government to insult the intelligence of people in Sangre Grande. Come August the 14th, I call on you, vote them out, vote them out, vote them out. My friends, let not your heart be troubled. Let your conscience be your guide. My friends, stand your ground. Stand your ground with each 8 councillors sitting here tonight. Stand your ground and let's secure our future. Most importantly, secure your integrity. And on August the 14th, vote for the United National Congress. I thank you.
Vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Come let me vote. Stand your ground now for you and your family. So let me vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Come out and vote. Make sure the children safe in the
Toko Sangre Grande, how are we feeling? On August the 14th, don't vote. Don't vote. Good, we have it. Our next speaker, we have a minister in the house. Our leader always says, put God first and we follow after. So tonight we welcome for Vega the Arapuch, a gentleman who believes that no weapon formed will prosper. He is an entrepreneur in the fishing industry and a former banker. Let's welcome for Vega the Arapuch, Daryl Mohan.
It's time for win. To build a better TNT. It's time for
Good night, good night,
to
good
vote for
night.
the UNC. So let me tell them. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure.
Good night, my friends. Good night, political leader, DPLs, MPs. I say a warm welcome to Sangre Grande. It's a pleasure having you here. And I thank you for this privilege to be on this platform. I thank you for giving me the opportunity. So I want to talk a little bit about what is taking place in Sangre Grande. So firstly, brothers and sisters of Sangre Grande, tonight I am honored to join this fight against this wicked government. I am honored to join in the fight to secure a better future for the people of Sangre Grande and by and large, Trinidad and Tobago, with the support of our other councillors from other areas. Amen? Don't mind us saying amen because you said I'm a minister of the gospel. Amen? It means that we agree. I want you all to turn to one another and say that we're winning this. We have this. Shake your partner's hand. We have this. We have this. We have this. We have the victory. We're winning this. Sangre Grande Corporation, my dear brother leader, is ours. It is ours. Let not your heart be troubled. It is ours. We confess it, so we possess it. You know, you have to forgive me and excuse me because our custom in the church, you know. And this is how we talk. This is how we talk. But for over 10 years, I've been a minister of the Word of God. And I've always sought to spread light over darkness, to minister to people. And there has been a constant fight against evil and darkness. Unfortunately, we are in a time where the governance seems to be darkened. It seems to be darkened. And what do we do? As members of the rising sun, when the sun rises, all darkness dissipates. We are members of this great party. When the sun rises, all darkness have to run and hide. And tonight we say to the PNM, Red, you're dead. Run and hide. run and hide. But while you're hiding, I will represent you. I will represent all the PNM supporters in Vega de Ropuch. So I'm not here to just campaigning to be a representative for UNC supporters only, but to be a representative for the people of Vega de Ropuch. And by saying that, I'm saying, welcome, welcome. Come and join a party of light, the symbol, the rising sun. You know, they say that service to man is service to God. That is why tonight I'm proud to be a member of this party, to serve the people, regardless of your race, your color, your disposition in society. I'm here to serve. And I'm willing to do that with your support tonight. And I know that Vega de Ropuch has always been a safe seat. But tonight I'm here to declare that we're going to make it even more safe. We're going to increase the margin. We're going to increase the margin by a further 1,000. No way PNM getting this seat. And by extension, no way they're going to get this cooperation. You know, many might ask, you know, why it is I'm seeking to win this seat for the UNC. Friends, we believe in the word of God. And the word of God says, you know, that where there is poverty, if we as believers in God lend a hand to those who are poor, God promises to bless us. I'm here tonight to tell you that the UNC is here to lend a helping hand to those who are in poverty, downtrodden, oppressed, suppressed. We are here for you. We have your back. And we are going to be here for you because we are going to implement policies that will take care of the burgesses. My friends tonight, consider this property tax. Property tax is a tax. And we know how it is, you know, looking back in the scriptures, you know, you talk about Zacchaeus being a tax collector. But we also know that under a Babylonian system, hear the word, a Babylonian system, back in the days of Egypt, they oppressed the people by having them bound by heavy taxes. Heavy taxes. My friends tonight, consider the fact that property tax is going to be based on the rental value of your property. The rental value of the property. It is no way similar to the land and building taxes that we were accustomed to before. So the more you upgrade your property, the more you enhance your property for your own comfort, for your enjoyment, you know you're going to be taxed heavily for it. And so tonight, I ask you to vote resoundingly for the UNC because we are going to ask the tax. And by saying that, don't vote, vote.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. August 14th, vote for UNC. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family.
This is such a riveting experience to sit among winners. We have a preacher in the house. How amazing is this, right? Our next speaker is none other than Keon Sampath. Keon, you have your fans in the house. Keon is representing us for Kumoto Tamana. Keon has given us excellent service from 2016 to 2019, and we are so certain that he's going to represent us from 2023 and beyond. Our next candidate and councillor for Kumoto Tamana, Mr. Keon Sampath.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family.
Good night, my brothers and sisters. A special good night to my political leader, Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, members of parliament, senators, NATEX members, and my local government colleagues. My brothers and sisters of Sangre Grande, are you ready to rumble? Tonight, as a young man, I am proud to stand as a UNC candidate for Kumoto Tamana because the UNC is the only party that can secure communities, families, and children of Kumoto Tamana. Brothers and sisters, as I walk the communities of Kumoto Tamana, it is clear that central government led by the PNM have totally forget the people of Kumoto Tamana. For 8 years, communities within Kumoto Tamana do not know what it's like to have regular supply of pipe-borne water. Citizens in Komodo Tamna have been exposed of health risks and mass discomfort because of the supply of water. And today, my brothers and sisters, I'm calling out every single one of Sangre Grande, Komodo Manza to come out and vote. Vote this PNM out of government. Vote them out of government. If the PNM government could abandon roads of Komodo Tamna for 8 years, do you really expect them to use the reform, the local reform, to benefit local government? No, they will not. Tobago, I want you to understand that Komodo Tamna have the most talented and brilliant and innovative young people, but for the 8 years, this PNM regime has stifled the growth of the youth of my community. And today, I tell you again, today I will be saying for this whole campaign, we need to get this wicked PNM government out of government. We need to. Not a single job was created in Komodo Tamna. Not a single youth program was brought to Komodo Tamna. As a matter of fact, after 6 fuel prices increase, hundreds of young people were prevented from accessing proper education and training due to cost of transportation. To come up from Grande from Forward Stamina is $30. 15 to go, 15 to come back. So if the PNM government could derail the life of youths, of hundreds of youths in Komodo Tamna, do you really expect them to use reform to benefit this district? No. No. In the past 8 years, I have seen hundreds of youths throughout Sangre Grande and throughout Komodo Tamna suffer due to the callous, reckless, and uncaring approach by this PNM government. The community of Komodo Tamna continue to suffer in fear of crime, lack of job opportunity, and an increase of poverty. Community within our nationwide. However, we in the UNC give you assurance that we will secure this community with our nationwide programs to restore and improve street lighting, job opportunity, and other programs for the youths in my community of Sangre Grande. With the UNC plan to expand municipal police, we will secure every household of Komodo Tamna. Many of you might think that August 14th is just an ordinary local government election, but no. This election is to send a message for this government that the people of Sangre Grande and Tobago fed up. We're fed up of this government. And let us put all our differences together and let us come together and vote them out of government. So tonight I will say, let us not vote, but let us vote. On August 14th, the country will be on yellow alert. Thank you.
It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
Thank you so much, Councillor. I refer to you as Councillor Keon Sampath. Yes, ma'am. Our next speaker is our only female representative, a woman who is strong and formidable. Let's welcome for Valencia East Soko, Carrie Reed.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your...
Good night to my UNC family. My topic is candidate. Why? I want to be a UNC candidate because I want to serve Valencia East Toko. Representing the UNC, the people of that district deserve a better way of life. There is no greater pain in life than to see promising potential be abandoned. I believe with that great representation, the Valencia East Toko district can lead the country in agriculture, artistic development, and even though technology, opportunity is what makes the difference between the community being at risk at the importance. I believe that the UNC is the only vehicle for the community's future. By extending the country, I am for the UNC because I am for community, and most importantly, I am for the country. On August the 14th, don't vote, just vote. On August the 14th, as a united people, we must stand our grounds to secure every community, every citizen, and every child of Valencia East Toco. We must secure the future of Sangre Grande and Trinidad and Tobago with the UNC. Vote for UNC.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family.
What a strong woman, right? Our next speaker is a national track and field icon. One who has won medals for Trinidad and Tobago on the international stage. Neil De Silva has made, no, I'm not referring to Senator Anil Roberts at this time. Neil De Silva has made our nation very proud in representing us in 1992, 1996, and the 2000 Olympics. Neil De Silva was honored as an icon for Valencia and Sangre Grande recently for his contributions in the community and country. Let's welcome Neil De Silva.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC.
Brothers and sisters of the UNC, good night. It's a pleasure to be here to see so many people. As you all know, I represent my country at many Olympics, 3 Olympic Games. As an international athlete, I struggled the same way I saw the people of Valencia West has been struggling right now. If you go through Valencia West, to Benny Road, Plantation Road, the Pine, the infrastructure, no good. It's sad to see that someone was given 3 terms as a councillor and has done nothing for the people of Valencia. Nothing. Today, it is a very big job on all of our councillors to take up that slack because the infrastructure throughout the communities is no good. We have a PNM government who has wrecked Toco Sangre Grande, starting from the pillars to Matlot. And even we have to do as people to bring back our society, to bring back Sangre Grande Toco, to bring back Valencia West, Valencia East, Northeast, Vega de Repuch, and Manzalina, Umutu Manzalina. It is heartbreaking to see so much unemployed young people. And all you could hear from them, that is pain. It is pain. What pain they are talking about? The pain they are speaking about is lack of facilities, lack of jobs. Under my minister, Mr. Anil Roberts, when we had sports, we had a lot of opportunities, a lot of programs for young people. We was going through communities and giving equipment to all the young men and women to play sport. Every facility was fully equipped with something to play sport. Sport has given me an education, has sent me to Central University in Ohio. Sports has given other opportunities to other people. We have Keon Walcott. I can remember when Keon Walcott wanted a javelin, it cost so much money that Mr. Anil Roberts and Mr. Ashwin Creed has given the permission to board that javelin to win in the Olympic Games. Under the UNC government, in sport, we have given the Trinidad and Tobago the opportunity to have the Commonwealth Youth Games through Mr. Anil Roberts. We have a cycling track that no one in the Caribbean, South America, or nowhere else but us. We have a swimming pool that is semi-Olympics, one of the best in the Caribbean. We have one of the best cycling velodrome. We have one of the best lawn tennis center in the Caribbean. So what I'm saying to you all is local government, yes, but the facilities in my community, the Valencia Savannah, the KP Lands Savannah, no good. And we have so much talent. And as I say here now, don't vote Neely Silva and the UNC in Valencia West.
You know, as I was sitting there, a councillor whispered to me to inform Valencia that they will now have somebody who will be present at meetings if they vote for Mr. Neely Silva. So I'm advising you, make sure on August the 14th that you vote for Mr. Neely Silva. Our next speaker, our next dynamic speaker, someone who is very vociferous in his representation, a very good friend of mine, and he's representing Manzanilla Fishing Pond. Let's welcome Councillor, Vice Chairman of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation, Mr. Kenwyn Phillips.
Manzanilla Fishing Pond! Let me hear all you! Sangre Grande, let me hear you! Sangre Grande, the leader is on our way here tonight. The leader is on our way here tonight, and we want to give her a Sangre Grande welcome. So let me hear all you. Political leader of this great party and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, members of Parliament, senators, councillors. I see my Toko Sangre Grande executive in the house, so I want to say welcome to the Toko Sangre Grande executive. And you, my UNC family, good night. Good night and welcome to this Thursday night report. My friends, this is my third time running for office to be the councillor for the Manzanilla Fishing Pond Electoral District. And some would ask, why you want to be the councillor for the Manzanilla Fishing Pond Electoral District. My friends, let me tell you, before I came into politics, any event that was kept in my community, I kept it. From Mother's Day function, to Father's Day function, to Christmas, you name it, Diwali function, I was the person at the top of the group. My friends, and to be in politics, you have to have a passion for serving people. You have to want that change. And tonight, my friends, I want to tell you something. This 8 years is the worst I have ever seen in the history of politics under this PNM government. And I want to tell you something. One will say experience is supposed to be one's greatest teacher. And I'm sure you all will agree with me. My friends, you know what attracted me to the UNC? I would have listened my political leader explain where she come from. And a good friend of mine always tell me that if you never go through poverty, you will not know what it means. We are the largest region in landscape, and I want you all to hear me, and we are the poorest, as Councillor Sicharan said. We are the poorest. We are a population of over 70-something registered person in the Sangre Grande region, and over 80 when we check in squatters. My friends, and when you walk the length and breadth of the electoral district of Manzanilla Fishing Pond, and here you hear the cries of some of the person, Mr. Piwat in Fishing Pond, he would have told you he depend on disability grant. And after paying his bills, he live on $26 a day to maintain he and his wife and his grandchildren. Is this a government that care for the people of Sangre Grande? My friends, they run out of excuse, so they come with local government reform now to fool us again. This government that sit down and study what to come with next. Let me tell you something. The Sangre Grande region received over $78 million in the last fiscal year. And out of that, we get $16 million to do development projects in our area. My friends, and sometimes they give you allocation and they don't give you the releases. And I heard the Prime Minister state that we come in and say on platform that we're not receiving funding. My friend, that is a lie. That is a blatant lie by the Prime Minister. But that is something you're accustomed doing, because he lied to us for 7 years, and he come in and lie to us again and tell us local government reform. My friends, before I go, I want to say to the people of Manzanilla Fishing Pond, I stand here as your humble servant, asking you, when you go to the polls on August the 14th, don't vote, and vote for all the UNC candidates in Bonoto, Manzanilla.
It's time for me to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your falling. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
And that is the Vice Chairman of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation currently, and your next candidate, councillor, from Manzanilla Fishing Pond. Our next councillor is someone who I fondly refer to as the mayor of Sangre Grande. He has flair and he is flamboyant. We have with us the Honorable Mr. Nassar Hosein. Nassar represents us for Sangre Grande Northwest.
August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your falling. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
All right, good night. Good night. I've been told I have 4 minutes, so I'll do a pre-say of this. All protocols observed. Assalamu alaikum, sitaram, namaste. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sangre Grande, are you ready to stand up to the neglect and the hardship created by the PNM? All right. Sangre Grande Northwest, street captains, drivers, polling agents. Are you ready for August the 14th? Are you ready? I'm not here. Are you ready? All right. Listen, you know, this PNM government is the most vindictive, uncaring, malicious government this country has ever seen. In addition to the work that was done in Sangre Grande Northwest, tonight, I must reveal, because there are people going about and claiming my projects. So I want the people in Sangre Grande Northwest to know that Nassar Hosein is the man who put up these projects. They were awarded. Okay? Listen carefully. And then these people bold-faced, they're claiming my projects. All right. Paving. Pineapple Drive, Picton Extension. Orchid Drive, Picton Extension. I had to go fast. Cypress Drive, from the bus. Listen. Road improvement with Pitron. People of Castle Drive, Cocory Drive, Benedict Drive. The road left of Railway Road #1. Pineapple Drive. Yes. After they paved that piece there, it's Nassar again. Now, the following roads have been tendered and awarded at this time the money is released. Crookshank Street, Gomez Street, Hibiscus Drive, Jacksonville, Kitwaru Extension, Kenny Street, part of Railway Road, Rambutan Street Extension Circular, Russo Street Celia Circular, Box Rain, come to the Box Rain done yet? Dolan Street, Gomez Street, Michael Street, Railway Road, Ramdas Street, Rambutan Street 2 section, Ramdas Street 2 section, Rup Singh Street Extended Box Rain, Service Street off the Ranjan Street. Now here now, if these projects were complete, you think I had to come here tonight? I will sleep and remain and win this election like nada. Like nada. Tonight I want to ask, now somewhere along the line I suspect these projects have been delayed or stalled for political gains. These projects have been approved but they just started. I'm telling all you know. Word through the grapevine, right? Now that is performance and all you. So far, I ain't all you. Real performance. Now, performance be told talk, promises, and PNM propaganda. There are so many issues and problems such as crime, flooding, water supply, each day. Why should we want, to reform? Why do you want a reform to dredge a river? Which runs through the heart of Sangre Grande, flooding every time. I have a reply from the Chief Engineer of Ministry of Works that says dredging is impossible due to close proximity of our houses to the river banks. Ask Jack Warner. At that time, he dredged the river in 2012. I am serious. Just ask him. That was the man at that time. Why should we wait on local government reform to control crime, which has become rampant? 2 nights ago, there are 2 home invasions in Sugar Lane and El Reposo Road, right? Now we are prisoners in our own homes. We can't take this again. No, we can't take this again, No way. And I want to tell Wassa, this is Nassar. We going to solve them problem in Blake Avenue and Babande. Yes, this is Nassar. Now you have this, Oh, boy, look. Oh, boy. Here now. I want to tell the normal election procedure on election day. People in Babande, Blake Avenue in Central, Coca all about, they come in with bags of money. You know who they are. Take the money and vote Nassar. Take the money. Take it. Take it. Long live our political leader, KPB. Come August the 14th, stand your ground. Don't talk, just vote. Boom!
It's time for Will to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
Toko Sangre Grande, it doesn't get better than this. These presenters are your 8 persons that you are voting for on August the 14th. Let us hear it for our 8 candidates to the Toko Sangre Grande region. We now have experience on our side, a former Minister of National Security and one of the coordinators for Toko Sangre Grande. Help me welcome to the platform, Mr. Joseph Toney.
It's time for Will to build a better TNT. It's time for Will to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and the family.
Good night, Sangre Grande. Oh Lord, I call you ready to vote already. Madam Political Leader, MPs, Senators, members of the National Executive, members of the Toko Sangre Grande Executive, candidates, future councillors, brothers and sisters, good evening once more. You know, everyone whom I told I was going to speak here tonight wanted me to speak on one topic. Because 33 years ago, around this time, I was lying on the floor of the parliament, hands bound, guns to my head, as we fought to ensure that you all will have a democratic society in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, I want to tell you there were many, many speech makers I had. I thought that the campaign manager was only for the body campaign, but he gave me a speech in Arabic. Mr. Firoz Khan gave me a speech in Arabic. But tonight is not about that. But disciplined party member that I am, I asked the political leader if I could spend about 5 minutes of my speech tonight to speak about that matter. I want to spend a few minutes speaking on the recommendations made by the David Simmons Commissions of Inquiry report and to assess where we are with those recommendations. I see my time counting down, very quickly, Councillor Nassar. but I thought that given my experience 33 years ago, they would have given me some extra time tonight. Now, I want you to take note of what some of the main players in the July 1990 events are saying today. Hear what Canon Nolly Clark says. He was the priest who acted as a mediator. He's saying, I am aggrieved at the crime and violence plaguing the society. I am hurt at the high rate of crime. I am appalled at the way we are dealing with it. He said it's more about action rather than big speeches. He said you don't have to go in any Hilton or Hyatt to talk about crime. We could talk about crime on the road. This is what Karen Nolly Clark is saying about our society after 33 years of that unfortunate event. Hear what Mr. Winston Dukaran has to say. He says, Dukaran said that the minimum can be done is to unearth the Commission of Inquiry report on the event. And even though, in my view, it didn't cover the issues I raised and other critical matters, there are several recommendations which didn't see the light of day. Now, let me give you a little history about the report. Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, then Prime Minister, and God bless her soul, was the only Prime Minister since 1990-1991 to have a commission of inquiry into this matter. She had a commission of inquiry. They gave the report to the President Carmona then, 2014. Some of the recommendations were implemented. I spoke to former Minister of National Security, former Commissioner of Police, now political leader of the NTA, Mr. Gary Griffith today, and he gave me a long treatise on the recommendations that have been implemented in the arena of national security. But you know what? They're so wicked and vindictive and spiteful and malicious. When they got into office in 2015, they overturned all of these recommendations. That is why we are back to square one. And my friends, that is what they did in the national security arena. But it is not only there that you have to speak about the recommendations, They made recommendations for the humane aspect of it. I am told that our dear political leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, has arrived.
Should make you stronger. So my problems is like steroids, boy. I get my doses from all kinds of sources. I don't know them still get
Is my time still on, or you all giving me some additional time? Welcome, Madam Prime Minister, to Sangre Grande. Welcome, Dr. Gregory Bissessar, to Sangre Grande. And Madam Prime Minister, I was just singing your praises earlier on for having the gumption, the guts, and the fortitude to have a commission of inquiry into the events of July 1990. You're the only Prime Minister who did it. And I congratulate you and I salute you, because those recommendations we are learning are being ignored by this present government. On the humane side, they said that there should be some compensation for the victims, not only the hostages in the Red House, Radio 610, TTT, all the policemen, civilians who got injured. And you know, today, this morning I get up, who's steering me on TV6? Who's steering me on TV6? I go to throw the TV outside. My wife saying no. Listen. And he was saying today that the government is prepared to take any reasonable action as a government to soothe any pain and hurt arising out of the events of 1990. Mr. Prime Minister, you don't have to, the recommendations are there in the report. Take the thing to the cabinet and implement the recommendations. He obviously didn't refresh his memory. But you know what that scam did? When we were in the NAR and we had
an eternal flame put up on the Abercrombie Street side of the Red House, front there, so that people could see, well, listen, the flame is a symbol of our democracy, and it's continuing. You know what that scam said? He said that that is a stove for vagrants to go and cook upon. This man is heartless. So, brothers and sisters, I see they give me 1 more minute. I wanted to talk about the mama guy of the local government reform, but a lot of people spoke about that earlier on. But before I leave the podium, I want to pose a question to the PNM camp of Sangre Grande Northeast. And the question I want to pose to them is, are you all using vehicles from the National Quarries Company Limited, a state enterprise, in your campaign in Sangre Grande Northeast? We lawyers just ask a question, but we had the answer, you know. So I am asking the question, is the candidate for Sangre Grande Northeast in this election, the PNM candidate, using vehicles from the National Quarries Company Limited in their campaign? I want to end by saying that I have instructions, oh Lord, are they playing music? I have instructions to write a pre-action protocol letter on behalf of the sitting vice chairman of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation, Mr. Kenwyn Phillips. The law says, that the chairman and the vice chairman continue to sit in office until they are replaced by those who will come after them. They only have the chairman at the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation up and down, but they don't want to hear the vice chairman who also sits in office. So tomorrow morning he has given me instructions to send off a pre-action protocol letter. And my friend, if they want to go to court, I have court all closed. We have senior counsel. So my friends, secure your regional corporation here in Sangre Grande. Secure the people of Sangre Grande. Go out on August the 14th and vote heavily for this rising sun, the symbol of the United National Congress. Thank you and good night. It's time for me to vote for the UNC. So let me tell you, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
Toko Sangre Grande, we are in the presence of greatness. Let's give our next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago a Toko Sangre Grande welcome. We also want to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Bissessar. Give him also a Toko Sangre Grande welcome. And Lawyer Joseph Toney, thank you so much for a prolific deliberation. We appreciate you being part of our team, and we thank you so much for excellent representation always. Our next speaker is someone who I admire for energy, someone who is always on the ground, someone who's also prolific and dynamic. Let's welcome the Member of Parliament for St. Augustine, Ms. Khadijah Ameen.
It's time for me to be a better It's time for me to vote for the UNC. So let me tell you, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC.
The grass on this stage better than the grass in them savannah all over the place. Thanks to the PNM. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no doubt that the UNC will win the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. Our team, led by the dynamic political leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, is sending fear in the PNM. The writing is on the wall for them. The PNM has failed and continues to fail Sangre Grande. One of our councillors earlier mentioned that the CSO said that Sangre Grande is the region with the lowest income per capita. In every household, the number of poor persons in the region of Sangre Grande. And what has the PNM done to create jobs? Nothing. What have they done to support agriculture? Nothing. What have they done to support fishing in this region? Nothing. What have they done to grow and improve local tourism? Nothing. What have they done for local economic development? Absolutely nothing. And they want to come now and talk about reform? Reform is the PNM roadmap. You know that? PNM has been talking about reform for every election. In the 2015 general election, what they campaign on? Reform. In the 2016 local government election, they campaign on reform. In 2019 local government election again, they promise reform. Promises never materialize. That is the PNM. In 2020 general election, they talk about reform too, you know. And in all that 5 years they were in government, they did nothing to reform local government. It was only in 2021 they passed the bill in Parliament. And I ask you, since 2021 to now, what have they done to reform local government? Nothing. Nothing. Well, wait. They did one thing. They proclaimed only one tiny section of the law, and that was the section to make the term of a councillor, instead of it being 3 years, to 4 years. But that was a shot that they tried to hit us, because the only objective of that was to postpone the local government election. Who are you fooling, PNM? So when they come to you and they ask for your vote, tell them PNM nothing. Tell them no vote for them. The writing is on the wall, because even PNM supporters, they're not happy. They are giving out food cards. I am asking for an investigation into this. Hampers. I saw a PNM candidate in this Sangre Grande region advertising himself as giving out YTEP something or the other. YTEP is a state-run enterprise. Are they using taxpayers' dollars to advertise and campaign for the PNM? Just as they are giving out URP jobs in the PNM campaign office. I joined the call of the leader, Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, for an investigation into this. That is taxpayers' money, and they are using it to campaign, and we must tell them no. The Council for Responsible Behavior of Politicians and so on, they spoke about a situation in Mayaro where candidates are advertising, come to the campaign office and you will get grants. I am asking them to investigate this situation in Sangre Grande with this YTEP thing. There are already 2 occasions when this Council for Responsible Behavior has condemned Rowley, and they have sent out numerous releases. I won't read it tonight, but it's there, where Dr. Bishnu Raghunath has been calling because they say they make defamatory and false allegations in print or speech. They also indicated that they violated a number of other provisions. So where is your ethical behavior, Rowley? He has none. When the UNC asked for international observers, it is to ensure that the elections are conducted in a fair and proper manner. Why you don't want observers? Because you want to be wrong and strong. You want to abuse people. You want to abuse taxpayers' dollars. And you're afraid because you know they will vote you out. In 2019, All I remember the leader of the UNC asked for international observers for the local government elections, and Rowley said no. At that time, his excuse was COVID. Then he said, we don't have money for that. Well, hello, international observers are paid for by the organization that sends them here. So he lied. And this time in 2023, this year, there's no COVID. What is your excuse? Once again, he does not want international observers because he knows that they will not meet the criteria for fair elections. And next thing that is bothering the PNM, Carrie Griffith, Jack Warner, and Kamla Persad-Bissessar are standing united in this fight. We have an accommodation with the NTA, ILP, and UNC, and all across Sangre Grande region, all across the East-West corridor and Trinidad and Tobago. The people are uniting. There is no PNM safe seat anymore. And when the PNM gets scared, they go on the attack. I saw something recently. This woman who was the mayor of Arima, she put out a release condemning Kamla Persad-Bissessar for the accommodation with Carrie Griffith and Jack Warner, and saying, Kamla, choose your men wisely. First of all, lady, Kamla is not your friend. It's the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar for you. Kamla Persad-Bissessar was the best prime minister this country ever had. That lady can't even fit in our leader's big toe, much less in her shoes. Know your place. You're out of place. And I really wonder, as a woman myself, if the women in the PNM realize the hypocrisy with Rowley telling women in general, but victims of domestic violence, choose your man wisely. And all of them in the PNM women's arm parroting him. Tell Dr. Rowley to choose his men wisely. Dr. Keith Rowley and his cabinet appointed Daryl Smith as an international trade and investment commercial officer of some sort of the other. Paula Gopi Schooner, woman, Minister of Trade. In 2018, Daryl Smith is the same man who they had to revoke his appointment as Minister of Sports because there was a scandalous sexual harassment investigation, and they used taxpayers' dollars to settle an agreement with the victim of that sexual predator. And now they're sending the sexual predator international to represent Trinidad and Tobago. Look, woman, get out my face, eh? When the leader of opposition speaks about standing your ground and standing up against crime and violence, it is also for us to stand our ground as women united. Let us stand our ground in this election. I am certain of victory in Sangre Grande region. Stand your ground, onward to victory with the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
I stand with MP Ameen in the belief that Toko Sangre Grande is going to be successful on August the 14th. Our next speaker is the fearless, the formidable, the faithful Anil Roberts, Senator Anil Roberts. It's always a joy to hear him on the platform. We welcome Senator Anil Roberts.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC.
Under Kamla Persad-Bissessar, 74% of the population had 24/7 water supply. Under Rowley and the Minister of Man, it is now 12%. So each one all you, when you call them for water, say Wassa is Nassar. Sangre Grande. Now when you say it in Spanish, Espanol is Sangre Grande. That means big blood. There are many stories about what that meant and how that name came here, but my interpretation is that Sangre Grande, big blood, means big heart, big love, big family, big community. And that's where we must return Sangre Grande to under Kamla Persad-Bissessar, because under Rowley, Sangre Grande means big bloodshed, and Rowley and his bag of vagrants must go. Extra, extra, read all about it. Breaking news. Scientists have seen signs of life in the politically docile, innocuous, irrelevant, spineless, pliable Penelope Beckles. They say the Douglas wakes you up from her political slumber. Minister Penelope Beckles, Member of Parliament for Arima. Arima means water. The people have no water, and you talking about you perform. I spoke to her a little bit. I don't like to talk to the irrelevant people. But on Douglas politics, I say, Penelope Beckles, Arima is in the worst state in its history. Even your PNM former mayor, Ashford, whatever he named, saying that the grounds recreation, grounds sport, grounds drainage, road, everything bad in Arima. Yet you come to tell people on Facebook that you performing. I told her a second thing, I said, but you are an MP. You are paid by the people. You're supposed to serve the people. Why are you bullying people on Facebook, abusing citizens? The third thing I told her was, I said, listen, Penelope Beckles, you are a member of parliament. If you're writing something in public, forget the green verbs now. The children reading this kind of no grammar thing. I said, girl, come on, do better than that. Well, I asked Penelope Beckles, I said to Penelope Beckles, I will give you a penny for your thoughts on those matters. And after she talked last night in a wake in Arima, you know the woman had changed for me. I said a penny for your thoughts, the woman had changed for your boy. We will take the entire Arima Corporation because of Arima is fed up of Penny and the PNM. We will take Malabar North. We will take Calvary. We will take Arima Central. We will take Malabar South. We will take Tumpuna. We will take Arima West. We will take Arima Northeast. Straight up. But Penny started to talk about weed. But all the recreation ground in Sangre Grande is only weed. But Penny, how you talking about weed when you sit in a cabinet next to Sleepy, Sativa, Narcolepsy, Fitzgerald, Ethelbert, Pumsite, Rasta, Hines? The whole cabinet of the PNM must be high from second-hand smoke. You're talking weed? The people have smoked out the PNM. The people will out the PNM. Rejection of the PNM is high on the agenda. So don't study Anil Penelope. Study the senator who wastes $500,000 of taxpayer money and fail all she exam. Study the $500,000 dunce who come in for your seat in the PNM. And remember, always remember, because the people of Arima, all kind of people feeling like they want to try a little smoke because they want to get away from the reality of pain that is the PNM. They want to forget the bloodshed. They want to forget the lack of water. They want to forget the lack of jobs. They want to live in a fantasy land where there is no PNM. So Penny, slow your roll. And always remember, Penelope Beckles, that a high will dissipate eventually, but green verbs live forever. Penny, penny, penny. They put you in housing. You're a build a house, but you cut a ribbon to open mailbox. They put you in planning, and the PNM have no plan. So Penny, wheel and come again. Bite your tongue, girl. And don't come back by the Douglas until your nickname is Dollar. All right, Penny? But okay, Penny, I buff you up, you wake up, you show signs of life. So let me apologize now. My mother always say, you know, don't abuse the weak and so on, and those who are not as tough as you. So Penny, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Gatsby Dolly get promoted above you because she gave Rowley what you couldn't. Penny, I'm sorry that you're a member of parliament, you're in the government, you're a cabinet minister, and the only set of views you get on Facebook and YouTube is when you mention the Douglas. For you. Penny, I'm sorry the 500,000 done take your seat and PNM done screen she and get rid of you. So say hello to that girl who could not pass the exam, Laurel Azama Leasing. Penny, I'm sorry that Rowley embarrassed you in Arima and didn't even show up to your meeting. Look, my Prime Minister, my leader in Sangre Grande right now. And Penny, you ask for it, so I'll give you it, you know. You want to battle the Douglas? Come now, man. Better than you come and get blown out already. Penny, finally, I'm very sorry, Penny, that as the member of parliament for Arima, the PNM MP of Arima, after August 14th, you will have to sit and swear in a UNC mayor of Arima. Rowley don't feel I forget about you. Rowley, you miss your meeting in Arima and you're going to sit down quiet on TV6. When you see Rowley talking quiet, you know cocktail coming. They can't stop it. Rowley tried to talk calmly and softly to fool you all into thinking that he's nicer than he really is. Rowley, you are unmasked. You are an evil Obia man and the people waiting for you. Rowley broke the law. Rowley broke the law to try and get Gary. Rowley broke the law with Johnny Sukaran to try and to get Annan and Gerald. Rowley is attempting to break the law to get Farley. The people united will get Rowley. Get Rowley out of office. Get Rowley out of cabinet. Get Rowley out of the government. Get Rowley out of our lives. Unite against evil and get Rowley out. I'm wrapping it. Come down. Now remember, yeah, DJ don't play that. Remember the Douglas is Indian. The Douglas is African. The Douglas is mixed up. The Douglas is St. Joseph. The Douglas is Arima. The Douglas is Grande. All in Grande must go UNC and NTA. Jack Warner is for the people, of the people, with the people, a warrior for the downtrodden, oppressed and challenged. PNM is anti-Jack. Therefore, PNM is anti-people. Wait, DJ. Gary is security, safety, protection, justice, and discipline. The PNM is anti-Gary. Therefore, the PNM is anti-safety and security. Kamla is love. Kamla is unity. Kamla is strength. Kamla is power. Kamla is respect. Kamla is democracy. The PNM is anti-Kamla, so the PNM is anti-love and unity. Vote them out across Trinidad and Tobago. August 14th, don't vote!
If you inherit $100,000, you pay 25% inheritance tax. For $300,000, 25% inheritance tax. And at $1 million, a 25% inheritance tax. It's not what they say, it's what you will pay. 25% on any property or cash you inherit. Secure your family and future. Vote UNC.
If you cut me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun, one nation under the law. So who feel the black? Who feel the white? I don't know. But it's not till tomorrow night. Who feel the wrong? Who feel the right? Come and go. And all who feel the too bright, let me jump up, let me wind up, party non-stop. Ramaje dingule kelkete, we come to play mass. Every creed and class, don't let nothing pass. La carreti tive all the love inside away.
First woman Prime Minister, first woman Attorney General, first woman to chair the Commonwealth of 54 nations, first woman opposition leader. Welcome KPB Plus, solid everywhere.
La carreti tive all the love inside away.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Well, this is Sangre Grande love. Good night, Sangre Grande. Thank you all, and to all the powerful speakers who spoke to you before I came on here. I want to tell you one thing from what I'm seeing here tonight. Keon Sampath is going to be the councillor for Kumutotama. Calvin Sicharan, Sangre Grande South. Our brother Kenwyn Phillips, Manzanilla Fishing Pond. Nassar Hosein. You know what Nassar told me when I come? He said, they cut my time, boss. I said, Nassar, take my time, but I wouldn't talk. You could talk whole night. Nassar for Sangre Grande Northwest. Neil De Silva, Valencia West. Darren Timothy, Sangre Grande Northeast. The lone woman, Carrie Reed for Valencia East Toco. And the pastor amongst us, Daryl Mohan, Vega de Oropuch. The winning team of candidates, and what we are witnessing tonight is we have a UNC baby on the way. Let's thank Nabila Green for chairing our meeting tonight. And I want to speak about just some few matters because you all are so excited and buoyed up. Thanks to Khadijah, brilliant speech. Toney, brilliant speech, thank you. And nobody could beat the Douglas, not even me. Anil Roberts, thank you. A couple of matters, some a little more serious, some just as fun as anything else. I just want you to remember, when we wake up every morning, every person, when you wake up, it is a new day. It is a new opportunity to live, to breathe, to continue your life's journey. When we are born, we are given a birth certificate. And then we die, a death certificate. And therefore, what does life mean? What happens in between that birth certificate and the death certificate? That is what matters to everyone. Your quality of life, your childhood, your adulthood, your old age, the joys, the achievements, the sorrows, the grief. That time between the birth certificate and the death certificate is a sacred time. Every human being wants what is best for themselves and for the people they love. I love all of you. And you know, that is why I have given my life in service, to ensure that the quality of life for people is one that is good, one that is fulfilling, and above all, one that is safe. Because as I have said so many times before, if you're dead, you cannot enjoy all the water, all the electricity, all the good roads, the recreation grounds. First, stay alive. You must keep alive. You must be safe and you must be secure. That is the most important thing. Life and time are sacred. So that is why it pains so many of us, pains all of us, to see our country become such a murderous place where the quality of life of everyone is so badly affected. Under this uncaring government, they were red and ready, and now we are dead and bloody under this wicked, incompetent government. From red and ready to dead and bloody. And when the Prime Minister appeared on his show this morning, he couldn't tell us what could be done to deal with crime. And I'll come back to that in a minute, This man attacks us, the UNC, for saying we don't support the bail law, which is not true. Not true. He said we don't support the bail law, but yet now he's blaming the people in the people in the prisons. They didn't have no bail inside a jail. And he said now it's them calling shots on people. No idea, no plan, nothing, no vision to move us forward. He refuses to work with other people. As a true dictator, this government refuses to work with anyone else. They claim to know all the answers. Anyone with a difference in opinion, what? Insult you, bully you, and boof you. That's their style. The news article as recently as 90 days ago, I called for unity in the fight against crime. Friday, April 28th. The article repeated what I called for. And the Prime Minister reconsider his stance and meet with the UNC and others in the interest of cooperating, coming together to fight crime. No. And up to this morning, couldn't tell us what he could do to help deal with the crime in our country. We supported legislation, they lie. We supported over many pieces of legislation. We supported the summary courts bill, the sexual offenses bill, the firearms bill, the electronic payments bill, the mutual assistance in criminal matters bill, the anti-gang bill, the evidence amendment bill. You want to hear more? We supported all this anti-crime legislation, but they come to lie again and say, blame UNC. Blame the UNC, no support them. And the parliament lie, you hear lie. That is lie. We supported the miscellaneous provisions admin of justice bill in 2020. In spite of all the support, multiple proposals we have put forward, no. They don't want nothing from the UNC. Well, I'll tell you what, sir. The UNC will run you legally out of office. We will run you politically out of office because you have failed. You have failed. You have failed the people of our land. They just do not care. That's the only thing I can figure out. They just don't care. You know why? When you're worrying as a pensioner in your home or you go to the bank and you're worried and scared, they have security around them 24/7. They have armed security police branch with them. They have all these people with firearms, but they're saying, no, none for the legal abiding citizen, law abiding persons. They just do not care. Some people wake up 4 o'clock in the morning. Anil, I don't know if you're one of those. Some people wake up 4 o'clock. They bundle their little children in the car, or into the taxi, or into the maxi out the door as early as 5 and 6 o'clock to beat the traffic jam, to get their children to school, and then to get themselves to work. They leave before the sun starts blazing in the early hours of the morning. At nighttime, they return. I'm coming here tonight. I was a bit late, and it was because of the massive traffic all the way. And these are persons who are coming from work. I am so proud that we built the Valencia Bypass Road, which cut all that traffic. Will you ask them what they built in your area here in Grande? Nothing. There is nothing. Because they just spoke about something. What did they do? Nothing. We did. He wants to build a Nassar Highway. We want to call it Kamla Highway. It's Nassar. Nothing that they can show that they've done to better their quality of life here. And so people leave. And on top of all of that, this heartless government offers to workers a 4% insult. Spending 9 million or more on a CARICOM Papi show, but can't find money to help those in need. For those who need the books for the children, the laptops for the children, to fix the schools, to fix the roads. But Papi showing up in Hyatt How could a selfish government be allowed to give millions to the financiers of Balisay House, but rob hard-working citizens like you with the 4% insult? And what is worse is the murder and the mayhem are normalized under this government. What is also frightening is that it seems murder and mayhem, people take it for granted. Just another one, another one. The only time matters is when it's you. I was talking to someone recently, they say, look at the murder rate, look at the crime, look at the home invasions. And you know what that person said? It's okay as long as it's not me. It's okay as long as it's not me. So we've become immune to the suffering of people out there. And if you look at the crime clips that we have, I don't know if the team has them tonight. Where is the outrage over the killing of children? Where is the outrage? Killing of children. Where is the outrage when old people are targeted and robbed and raped? Where is the outrage when there are merciless killings without end? When will you say enough is enough? Do you have to wait until your home is invaded to say no to the PNM? We say no to the PNM now. Don't wait for it to happen. We have to stop them. We have to stop the bandits. We have to stop the criminals and the home invasions. We have put some plans forward to help with security and safety. You are not happy. We're living in a country where criminals seem to be the bosses. You are not happy when you have to turn your house into a prison to be safe, and they are still coming for you in your home while you're sleeping. What kind of terrifying life are we living in this land? Why are people in TND waking up every day to survive and cannot live in peace? The quality of life is terrible under this government. We are not safe. Our children are not safe. We are besieged with despair and loss of hope. But there's one thing we know. In every religion, in all the holy texts, in Christianity, in Hinduism, in Islam, in Buddhism, Shouter Baptist, in every religion speaks about light. Speaks about light, regardless of where you are from, which creed or race, whichever religion. And that is why I say to you, the United National Congress is the light to secure you and stamp out the despair and the darkness. So do not ever give up hope. Some days we seem hopeless and feel hopeless. But we always say there's a God above. And God doesn't sleep, he only wears pajamas. And we have to put God in front, keep the hope and the light as we move forward. During my time as Prime Minister, I tried to ensure your security and happiness were a priority. We were never afraid of firing anybody. As we sit today with rowdies clearly afraid to cut the most incompetent minister. And I'll have some nice words to describe it. We just know as the sleeping minister. Will not cut Hines. They're more concerned about care for Hines than about your safety and security. During our time, crime was low. People were safer. There were constant reports about, no reports about home invasions and the kidnappings, none under our watch. And so what are our plans in the UNC to help take care of you? Some national plans, which we can do even with local government, and others we will do when we form the government again. Secure communities. Everybody supports restarting community comfort patrols in your communities and surrounding areas. What is wrong with the Rowley government? Why did they stop those patrols in the first place? Secure families. Everyone supports a proposal to increase legal gun ownership for you, law-abiding citizens. Secure streets. We support a nationwide plan to restore and improve street lighting in your community. We must take back control of our streets. Secure schools and our children. We will use the municipal police in the local government corporations to secure our children in their schools and outside of their schools. Secure jobs. Expand the municipal police at the corporations so we create jobs, more jobs. People are crying out, we're coming up on the highway here, coming. And all this massive traffic jam. And we are saying, well, what is happening here? These were the persons who came out to try to get the the prison officers' jobs. In the hundreds, thousands, Anil is saying, oh, these persons looking for jobs. We can help with the municipal police. All we need to do is increase them. We will create the jobs, but we'll also keep our communities and our children and families safe. Secure your homes. You being able to defend your family is a human right. We support stand your ground laws to protect your home and family. I have asked in many of our meetings, I ask you here tonight, you are home with your family. Some sleeping, some may be awake, but you're home with your wife, your children, sons, daughters, and somebody's invading your home. And Rowley wants to do the dog whistle on race baiting and says, it's one people sending and not people fight. Listen, you dare this bandit coming in. You have your wife and your children, you're going to come to rob and rape and kill. What do you say to the bandit? Mr. Bandit, sir, hold up. Take off your mask. And let me see if you're looking like me, or if you're looking like Anil, or who you're looking like. And then I'll decide if to shoot you or not to shoot you. Total, utter nonsense and rubbish. Nonsense, rubbish. We support stand your ground laws so that you will have a fighting chance in your own home. And I read in the last meeting, I read from the book of Exodus, 22:2 from the book of Exodus. The holy text tells us very clearly, if someone's invading your home and a fatal accident happens, that person is murdered, then the homeowner is not guilty of murder. The Bible is telling us that. So is Rowley to come here to race bait? You need to stand your ground in your own homes and defend your families. Defend your families. Secure neighborhoods. The UNC will support your request for secure communities with gates or barriers so you can keep out bad traffic people from coming. We have gated communities up in the West, but we can put local government, councils have the power and the authority to approve gated communities. So we don't need them only in the West, we need them throughout the length and breadth where the citizens can be safe in their homes. This is something we can do in local government. Secure the economy. We will scrap the dreaded property tax. We will stop the upcoming 25% inheritance tax. And we'll jumpstart investment with lower taxes on businesses. You can't tax a nation into prosperity. One of you, when I was coming, I heard speaking earlier about the property tax, was it you? One of the candidates about the property tax, yes. So you were saying you're the poorest here, living at the lowest levels of income and so on. And they want to tax you to say they're going to give you back through the corporations. You hear lie? They're not giving you back nothing. That is for them and their recusers and their friends and their families. So don't get chained up. Don't get chained up with that. It's not going to happen. And there it is. Imagine the peace. Talk about securing mental health. Imagine not having to worry about your child being bullied and beaten whenever you drop them off at school because they are municipal police officers in schools. Imagine your peace of mind seeing the flashing lights of the community comfort patrols while you're home, safe in your beds. Imagine knowing that a car passing at night is one of your neighbors and not a criminal because the community is gated. Imagine the mental health stability and comfort to your family of helping able to draw your licensed firearm in case of a home invasion. A vote for the UNC in this campaign can give you peace of mind and secure your mental health. Some of these we can achieve, as I say, through the local government system and some through central government. And this is what this election is about. It is not about insults and innuendos. And Khadijah, don't worry about whatever that lady say. My backbone, I think she's just jealous when she see... just jealous when she see all these guys coming in to help us, all the women, men, women. So I don't take them on. Don't take them on, Khadijah. You are greater than every one of them who was on our platform last night. Better than any one of them. Better. So don't tote. Don't tote. Just vote. Don't tote at all. So this election is not about insults. It's not about innuendos. It is about whether you are comfortable with the state of our country and the plans that are being put forward. This election is about performance, about plans and policies. We must look at government's record. They have no record whatsoever. Look at the ticker tape at the bottom of the screen if we try to find their records, if possible. So what they do is they engage in PR. In his interview this morning, we had no cogent answers for anything. He talked about a whole government approach. I'll give you a few points. He talked about crime. What did he say about crime? No plan. Apparently, if we stop speaking about crime, in his view, it will stop existing. So he doesn't want us to talk about crime when that is the number one issue in the country. He talked about illegal immigrants. Again, no plan or policy to deal with this issue. He talked about out-of-control crime rates. But again, no clue how to deal with this, since the gimmick of crime as a public health crisis flopped big time. He talked about vetted units. He has no idea how to implement this. Again, it's just a talking point, a PR gimmick and a PR stunt. Talked about whole government approach. Admitted the whole of his government is non-functional and disorganized. Totally disorganized. He talked about his unwillingness to work with the opposition. He talked about legal action against a whistleblower. Suddenly, Rowley dislikes whistleblowers. The only good whistleblower is the one who complains about anyone except Rowley. The council Khadijah spoke about for responsible political behavior slapped him down twice. What was his response? Was to attack the council, blame the council. What's new? Anytime something comes against him, what does he do? He blames them. Remember the playbook? Let's bring out the playbook again. Bring out the playbook. So he says the council, they are corrupted and they are biased and whatever. So once you have a different view, that fellow will buff you and blame you. So let's take back the playbook. The playbook. Playbook. Yes, Nassar. And more. And more. Number one, blame UNC. Number two, blame Kamla. Number three, still doing it, blame the people. 4, cry race. 5, lie for everything. Lie for everything, every single thing. 6, repeat over and over and over again. And when you finish with that, you come back again and blame Kamla. Blame the UNC, blame the people, cry race over and over, this information. Once you keep this in your mind, they can't change you up and fool you again, because you'll see the pattern of behavior. They do it every single time, and some people get chained up and get lost. So, playbook, remember it. Response to the Chief Secretary's remarks. Basically, Rowley's obsessed with Farley. After all, Farley good looking. Eh? Rowley's obsessed with Farley and is out to destroy the people of Tobago. Remember, he had warned them before the election, He said he would never forgive them if they voted against him. You remember that? So he's out to destroy Farley and the people of Tobago and the THA. He's talking about threatening the presiding officer for the THA. Rowley, you never study law. Your lawyers are wrong, you're all dunces. They make law, but they don't even read the law. So what you're saying about the presiding officer of the THA, get a good lawyer now. We'll lend you the little boy Saddam. Good lawyer. We'll lend him to you. We have good lawyers. We have Toney now writing pre-action letters too. We have good lawyers. But you don't know the law. What are you ranting and raving about the presiding officer? She is within her jurisdiction in the THA. Rejecting the law standards and normalization of criminal conduct. Local government election. He's angry that everyone knows his fake local government reform is just a gimmick, just like the failed roadmap to recovery. He's crying about Jack Warner and Gary Griffith. I think he's suffering from a broken heart due to Gary and Jack being with us and working together. He talked about the economy and showed he had no idea of what is happening on the ground with the cost of living. He talked about the oil and gas sector. He admitted it is dying, and he's clueless what to do. Just sit waiting for a rainy, what you call it, for a rainy day, for a windfall from higher prices. Nothing about creating jobs, diversifying the economy to create jobs. So refinery, he admitted now, refinery going to scrap iron. Guyana, he had nothing to say, because behind the scenes, the people of Guyana well know Rowley and his cohorts were in the Guyana in the elections, their general elections, working against those in the present government. The Commission of Inquiry cost. They cannot explain why 4 men were killed in a pipe. They cannot explain why not a cent was given to those families, but yet you're spending millions of dollars to pay lawyers. Shame, it's a shame. Procurement legislation, they will further destroy that, cut it out so they can continue to thief from the treasury. Vision for the country? Absolutely none. Absolutely no vision for this country. Tonight I was on my way here and former Attorney General Anil Roberts called me to tell me that they had filed a Freedom of Information application about TTT, State-Owned Trinidad and Tobago Television. I see the PNM is advertising tomorrow. They're having a meeting somewhere down in Palo Seco. They're telling the people they're going point for it, but Mr. Rowley, again, somebody fooling you. Palo Seco falls in the Superior Regional Corporation. And the Superior Regional Corporation go on yellow, code yellow, UNC. So you could come there, you could jump high, you could jump low, but you're not winning the Superior Regional Corporation. So they go on the advertising TTT, covering them. So former AG Anand tells me the FIU reveals that as at February, so we'll have to update it, as at February, the PNM is owing TTT over $500,000 for coverage. Over $500,000. And almost every meeting you'll see on TTT. They're running down all state institutions. Khadijah spoke about the food cards and the CPEP and URP. Toney spoke about national quarries. All that is happening using your taxpayer dollars, Don't feel it's theirs, it's your taxpayer dollars that they're using to run their campaigns. But they will do all of that. And you and I know they will not win this local government election. There is another thing. You hear lies, I was waiting for them. Rowley, you need good lawyer. Call Toney. Call small boy Saddam. But don't call me. I'm not giving you legal advice. But I'm here to show how once again you are lying to the country about local government reform. I want to remind you, this law that they passed, you mentioned it and others, the reform law to reform local government, they passed this law. Khadijah told us since 2021. The only thing that they proclaimed was to stop the election. But when I went in Parliament that day when they were doing the law, and I said this law can be used to postpone the local government elections, that Mr. Faris Al-Rawi, Anil, you know how to call him, he jumped up in the Parliament and said, poppycock, nonsense. The Prime Minister will always call elections when they were due. Lied. We had to drag them screaming and kicking all the way to the Privy Council to get you your democratic right to vote. And now they're all over the country crying local government reform. Gimmick. Fake local government reform. I'll tell you something. They're telling you that when you vote this wrongs, the councillors will become permanent full-time councillors. You hear lie? You hear lie? That is a big, big lie. Again, they can't read the law. They cannot read. They're making the law and cannot read the law. So what the law says, when these guys went on nomination day a few weeks ago and they signed up for the work, the law then, that their terms and conditions was that the job would be a part-time job. Because that is the law then. That is still the law today. Because you have not proclaimed all this reform you talk about. That's only one point. But it goes further than simply that. There'll be no full-time councillors and aldermen under their local government reform. So they're just lying, and I'll tell you why. I had the privilege of working with the Bastille Pandey government in 95, 96. And Mr. Robinson piloted a bill in the parliament. Joe, you were part of that too. The THA Act. That 1996 Act, the THA Act. It amended, it changed the 1980 THA Act. Under the 1980 THA Act, it was exactly what you all have now for local government, part-time. But Mr. Robinson argued and we supported for full-time. But when you want to do that, you have to pass the law to make it happen. So when we passed the law at section 16(8) of that law, we clearly, expressly put it in that the THA people, this is what it says. I don't want to do much legalese for you all, just trust me. I know the law. I know what I'm talking about. It says, a secretary, this is THA, or presiding officer shall not engage in any trade, business, occupation, or other undertaking for profit or remuneration other than that of serving as secretary or presiding officer. So they said you're bringing the THA model executive officers and you have to go full-time. You hear lie? They're fooling you again. That is not the law. They wrote the law and they cannot read it. There is nothing in this new piece of law that they want to put in that gives express provision like this. So when you signed up on nomination day, what did you sign up for? You put part-time as it is now. I'm not saying the law cannot be changed, but they did not change it. And they cannot, in the same way they could not postpone the local elections to give you a 4-year term because you had signed up for 3 years. They cannot come now to change your terms and conditions to make it full-time. And then the law says further, if you want to take on this full-time work, which I'm saying legally they cannot do, and we'll take them to court if they come to enforce it. If you say, hey, I prefer keep my job, I'll resign. Do you know in this new piece of law they put in something to say? You have to pay a fine, like an offense, for $10,000 to resign. Yes, that is what the great local government reform is about. And I'll talk a bit more on these matters on another day. So please, if they read the law, what? Me? If you invite me, I'll come back. Thank you so much. So they write the law, but they can't interpret their own laws. So all them duncy-head incompetent lawyers they have, paying all kind of senior counsel fees. I mean, really, when you could take that money and help so many other people. So their modus operandi is a what? It's about enriching themselves and then throwing peanuts to the people. Enrich themselves, the crumbs, yes, that is one answer, the crumbs. Everyone must be able to have an opportunity to earn and be productive. This government is diverting your taxpayer dollars, a select hand-picked group of financiers. That is the way they always operate. You would have seen the Express newspaper, false promises, where PNM candidates are using state resources to campaign. We spoke about it tonight again, and we'll continue to speak about it as we go along. So don't take chain up. Anybody to give you any 10 days, what is my advice to you? Take the 10 days. Anybody, and vote them out on the 14th. If they come to give you 10 days, the food card, take it. Because you did nothing wrong, but you know what? On the 14th. It's code yellow. August 14, code yellow. Vote them out. Vote for every one of your UNC candidates. To not vote is a very bad thing. If you do not vote, you're in fact saying yes, you want things to continue. To not vote is to say yes, you want to live in a country that looks like a shanty town. To not vote is to say yes, you want your nation to be a place where your children can grow up having no jobs. We would want better for our children. We should not be living a life where the criminals are in charge, where there are no fruitful jobs and opportunities. This is where a dictator who has no heart, none whatsoever, no compassion, doesn't care about you. So make him feel it on August 14th. And I think he's throwing his hands up in the air. He knows the licking coming. He know the blow is coming on the 14th because he said we are campaigning like a general election. Well, my dear Prime Minister, we are campaigning to move you out of office of Prime Minister, starting with the local government election and moving into the general election, whenever it's called. Your days are numbered. Legally and politically, we will deal with you and your incompetent government. So don't come out here and say not to vote and vote. We're campaigning like a general election, he says. And then this man, I mean, I don't know where the brains is. I don't know. Yeah, you do it for me, Tuesday. You have a good way of dealing with these matters. He stands up and he says, on August 15th, no matter what happens, the PNM will still be in the government, no matter what happens. Looks book, the licks, the blows, the licking book. On the 14th, we will vote them out. He is admitting it. Let's give it up. You throw it away. So as I close tonight, I thank you again for this lovely, lovely Grande welcome. And my candidates, they're working really, really hard. I see the photos. I see everything coming forward. All those who are helping them, we thank you for it. And I close with these words to you in conclusion. If you fail to vote on the 14th, then you deserve the wicked, incompetent government that you have. If you fail. And I'm telling you, the sun rises in the east. The sun rises right off your coast here in Grande. So that sunrise will begin here in the east and wash down the corridor, going all the way to Arima, after Arima, we're going to the Tunapuna, Sama Lavantil, Port of Spain, Diego Martin, and then we come down the road, Cuva, Tabaqui, Talparo, Chagonas, then you reach down south, San Fernando, Gone Clear. Taking that. And after San Fernando, we'll be going down to Penal Debe Corporation. And by the time you're finished there, you reach one place where I come from, Siparia Borough Corporation. This man created a borough in Siparia because he's so ashamed he was doing Diego Martin as a borough. But he said, how we look now? So Siparia take that. And when we bolted him in the parliament, there was not one single difference naming it a borough would make. I remember you're a borough, you're suffering just like, I remember people, you're suffering same way like people in the corporation here. It makes no difference, it's just a name change. Mama guying people and fooling people. Since then, I haven't heard one of them tell us what improvement people got from being called a borough. Nothing, it's pure mama guy and chain up. Pothole all over the country, everywhere. So friends, you have a duty on the 14th. I will leave Grande tonight with a peaceful heart, filled with love for all of you here. And yes, I will come back another day. I love you all very, very much. The code is yellow, help me, UNC and proud, NTA and proud, UNC and proud. August 14, vote for the rising sun. Thank you very much.
It's time for winning. To be a better TNT. It's time for winning. To vote for the UNC. So let me tell them. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
August 14th is Election Day in Trinidad.
We have to stand united. We have to stand together.
It's 14 corporations and key electoral districts on the ballot. It comes down to your voice, your vote.
Don't. Are you ready? UNC.
Cast your vote for the one and only United National Congress. Stand your ground to victory. To victory.
Who feel the black? Who feel the white? I don't know. But it's settled tomorrow night. Who feel the wrong? Who feel the right? Come and go. And all who feel the too bright. Let me jump up. Let me wind up. Party non-stop. Ramage dingule kelkete, we come to play mass. Every creed and class, don't let nothing pass. Like a repetitive, all the love inside the way. Uptown and ghetto, feeling the tempo. Soca and Kaiso, it's party day like so. Soon as we land, fun is the plan. We like to jam like the man bam.
We have to stand together.